Welcome back, Robert with Occupancy Boost. If you want to get more bookings out of Booking.com, stay tuned and watch the rest of this video. There's a great little tab in the Booking.com Extranet called Availability Optimization. This is a great tool that I think is underutilized by property owners. It allows them to take full advantage of their inventory when they get close to selling out, giving the opportunity to put restrictions on and also to raise your rates. There's also an area in this tab that will give you notifications on what they recommend that you should do based on market data. Stay tuned. I'm going to switch screens. I'm going to show you the Availability Optimization tab and show you how to make more money. Stay tuned. Okay, we are in the Booking.com Extranet, of course, and I want to start off on this calendar tab. So if you go under rates and availability and you click on calendar, you're going to get this calendar tab here, which I'm sure everybody on this watching this video is familiar with this. And this hotel has got 4 room types. They've only got 2 double rooms, so they don't really sell those. So really it's narrowed down to 3. They've got 2 king rooms, a smoking king, a non-smoking king, and then a jacuzzi suite, which they only have 1 of those. So really they've only have 2 room types that they mainly work with. Today we're going to focus on this smoking king room type. That's their most popular selling room type. And this hotel loads inventory manual. I support this property and they manually load inventory. So, obviously I have to keep a very, very close eye on this hotel with inventory and rates and what have you, because we do not have a channel manager. If you have a channel manager, like I said in the intro, you can still follow along with this. It'd just be a little bit less time consuming for you to make changes. But please follow along if you have a channel manager. Very, very important things we're going to look at. So let's kind of go to the Smoking King room and let me show you guys why I'm starting off in the calendar. If you look here across, it basically gives you about a 2-week spread here on the Smoking King room. We load 4 rooms per day, Sunday through Thursday for this property. And then on the weekends, we load 2 rooms because they get a lot of walk-in business on the weekends. The weekends are a lot busier, so we don't sell as many rooms online to avoid paying commissions on the weekends. So we only have 2 rooms that we sell on the weekends. So I end up putting a lot of restrictions for this property on the weekends. And you can see here on the 14th, Saturday the 14th, they're down to 1 room. Like I said, we only have 2 rooms available on Friday and Saturday, but Saturday, 2 days from now, they're down to 1 room. So, a couple things you can do there. Like I said, we have more rooms available. The owner likes to sell to walk-in business on the weekends. You could always add rooms to the inventory and bring that up to 2, or you can put a restriction on there. And a lot of times what you want to do, it helps you make more money. You're going to optimize your hotel or your short-term rental. You're going to put a 2-night minimum length of stay on there. What it would do if you put a 2-night minimum length of stay on this Saturday, it would force anybody making a reservation to have to stay Saturday and Sunday. So if Sunday's a night, if you think that Sunday's a day that you could fill up along with Saturday, then you may want to do that. It'd probably be more advantageous if you had a 1 room left on Friday and you did a 2-night stay on Friday to fill up the Friday and then also fill up the Saturday, because Saturdays are obviously a lot more popular. But for example purposes, we're just going to look at it like we're going to put a 2-night stay on that Saturday. Now, looking at your calendar here, that's a big decision, okay? So you'd have to scroll through all the dates on your calendar to look pretty much, I guess every day, a couple times a day. You'd have to go through and see if your property's set up for success. And anytime you get down to the point where you've only got 1 room available, obviously it's time to make a decision whether you want to add inventory or you want to put a restriction on there. Well, Booking.com, and you're going to see why I start off with this calendar area. Booking.com, they've got this tab called Availability Optimization. Underneath the Rates and Availability tab, that's what we're going to focus on today, is Availability Optimization. You can see there's a little red circle here with the number 4 in there. So that means there's opportunities to optimize this property. So let's click on that. Let's click on that Availability Optimization, and it's going to take us to this page right here, okay? Availability Optimization page. And the first page, or the first tab it goes to, is these key dates. It kind of runs down the list here. We're going to start at the very top with key dates. And as you can see, it tells you that Saturday, September 14th, you've only got one room left. That's Smoking King. There's only one room of that Smoking King left. But it's also telling you on Saturday, October 26th, that you have one room left on that date as well for the non-Smoking King room. So the nice thing about this tab, a couple nice things, is if you want to add inventory to those room types, you can just go in here and click that plus button and hit add availability. Now, if you have a channel manager and you're watching this video, you're going to have to go to your channel manager to make that change. But if you're manually loading inventory, which I'm sure there's quite a few people out there that do, and obviously we do for this property, then you can make your changes directly here, and you can just click that add availability button, and it will add it will add it to your calendar automatically. Now, again, the nice thing about having this availability optimization tab, you don't have to scroll through that whole calendar to find out which dates are close to being sold out. This key dates tab here, or this key dates icon, it shows you which dates are close to selling out. So you avoid having to go through that entire calendar to look and kind of you could obviously easily overlook it because that calendar's pretty vast, and it'd be easy to overlook something there. So you can do it all with a snapshot right here. Now the bottom here, down here, it gives you sold out dates on the next tab down. As you can see, for the property, there's no dates that are sold out, and we're going to go back to that a little bit later. And then it gives you almost sold out dates down here. The third one, almost sold out dates. And there, that Saturday, the 14th, showed up again. And then it's got some other dates in here that are almost sold out, so you could add availability to those as well. But the real reason I wanted to bring you guys to this page is for that 14th. I want to kind of show you guys what you might want to do with that. If you saw this, if you had not gone to your calendar at all, and you just went to this availability optimization page, opened it up, and clicked on this key dates icon, and you saw that you've only had one room left to sell on Saturday the 14th and one room left to sell on Saturday the 6th, October 26th, you might want to go in there and put some type of restriction in there. And let's say, for example, we wanted to put a 2-night minimum length of stay on this Saturday. Because we only have 2 rooms left, and we're pretty confident that we could get somebody online that wants to book Saturday and Sunday both, we want to put a minimum length of stay of 2 nights on that Saturday. So whoever books is going to have to stay for 2 nights, giving us more revenue and also filling up an extra day. So if you go to your calendar here, I'm going to go back there. I'm going to show you how to put that 2-night minimum length of stay in. Now, if you have a channel manager, again, you're going to have to do this through your channel manager. But we're going to go ahead and I'm going to show you guys how to do it in the calendar here. So you're going to pick the 14th here, September 14th. And we're going to scroll down to our Smoking King room. And as you can see, there's one room available. And you're going to click on the bulk edit button to the far right here, bulk edit. We're going to scroll to the bottom, and you're going to go to restrictions at the very bottom, and you're going to click on select rate plan. Now, I don't know if you guys noticed on that calendar, I do have 2 rate plans loaded. I have a non-refundable and a standard rate plan, which is refundable. So we're going to put this minimum length to stay on both of those rate plans. Okay, so we're going to start off with the standard rate plan. We're going to click on that, and we're going to click on select a restriction, which is minimum length of stay. And we're going to put a 2-night minimum length of stay on there. And then down here, if you scroll down a little bit more, it's got this add more button, which you can add more room types to add your restriction to, which we're going to do that. We're going to do that non-refundable rate plan. We're going to do a 2-night minimum length of stay on that non-refundable rate plan as well, 2 nights. And then you just click Save Changes. And that's it. It brings you right there. Let's go and take a look at that. Yep, your minimum length of stay is on there, right underneath the Smoking King room. You can see the minimum length of stay. And if you scroll over this icon here, anytime you see these icons on Booking.com, you can scroll over it, and it's going to tell you what it means. It says a guest staying on this night must book for at least X nights total. And we have 2 in there. We put a 2-night minimum length stay, so the guest has to stay for 2 nights. Now I went back to the full view of my calendar, and it shows your 2 night stay on here. Now, when you're going through your calendar, one thing you're going to want to do is you're always going to want to go to the top here. You're going to want to click on restrictions. It's going to show which restrictions are set for each one of your room types. So you can see that 2 night minimum length of stay is showing up there. Okay. Okay, one thing I kind of want to do here for example purposes, I want to show you guys how the rest of those tabs work in availability optimization. So I'm going to go in here on Friday, and I'm going to take out inventory on Friday. I'm going to pretend like Friday's sold out, okay? I'm going to pretend like I put a 2 night minimum length of stay on Saturday, and Friday ended up selling out, okay? After I put that 2 night minimum length of stay on that Saturday, Friday ended up selling out, okay? And let's say that Sunday sold out too. Now, this could be any day of the week, but let's just say that Sunday sold out too, right? Now, after those close out, you notice that you have one room available on still on Saturday, but it's unbookable. It shows up, it went in red in the calendar. And let me kind of show you what that looks like here in the availability optimization. So unbookable dates. Now, as you can see here on the unbookable dates, it says, let's read what this says underneath. It says, your minimum length of stay restrictions are making you unbookable for some upcoming dates. Due to your restrictions, potential guests can see or book certain room types. What they're telling you here, it's flagged this. It flagged this because you have no rooms left available on Friday, no rooms left available on Sunday, but you've got a 2 night stay on Saturday when you still have a room available. So it's probably a good idea to lift that restriction of 2 nights on Saturday. So when you go to that unbookable dates, which is a very, very important tab, it's telling you that you probably should lift that restriction off of that Smoking King on Saturday, September 14th. Okay, so it's telling you right underneath there, Saturday, September 14th, it says recommended minimum length of stay restriction 1 night. And it says your standard rate plan, your non-refundable rate plans are both 2 night minimum length of stay. So it flags it for you. Now, again, if you have a channel manager, you have to go in and make all these changes in your channel manager. But again, still a good idea for you to come into this optimization tab and look at these because your channel manager may or may not, probably doesn't flag this type of thing for you. This is a really neat tool that booking.com has, and it flags it for you. Again, if you're looking at your calendar and you're doing all your work from your calendar, you're missing out because there's so many days on your calendar to look at. And it's important to keep on top of this stuff. And if this date of September 14th were way further out, if it were like that date we looked at for October where that room was almost sold out, if I would have put a 2 night minimum length to stay on there, and I was only relying on myself to look at this calendar here, this big calendar here, and to catch mistakes, it'd be highly doubtful that you'd catch it, and it may go by a couple days before you did catch it if you're not checking it all the time. But this availability optimization tab, you guys should be checking this thing at least twice a day, I would think. All you have to do is just log into your Extranet and take a look at it and just go under there and see what's going on, see what's been flagged. Okay, so very, very important, especially if you're short-term rental owners. You guys are I know a lot of times you guys put restrictions on your short-term rentals. If your rental sells out and it's sitting there without inventory, you could definitely miss out on bookings. So very, very, very important thing. So we're going to change this as standard rate. We're going to change this to 1 night, and we're going to put our non-refundable back to 1 night. Okay. So I'm going to listen to what availability optimization is suggesting. I'm going to change that 2 night stay to a 1 night stay, and I'm just going to click on update there. And we're done. Okay, so we have no unbookable dates right now. And if I go back to my calendar, let me refresh that calendar screen. You can see that room opened back up on Saturday the 14th. So we have that room available. So nobody can stay in that room type on Friday. Nobody can stay on Sunday, but they can certainly stay on Saturday for 1 night because we lifted that restriction. So Great little tool here. And again, you have to go to your calendar. You can do this from your calendar only if you went through here, but look at all the work you'd have to do. I've got 3 room types here that we work with, and I'd have to go through, and this is just showing 2 weeks at a time. So I'd have to keep scrolling through here and seeing, how many days I had one room left. Is it a good idea to put a minimum length of stay? These red areas would show up if it was unbookable. That's fine, but a lot easier to go here and get the snapshot from it. Now down here under restriction advice, they will give you advice on your restrictions. And how they do it is they kind of look at the demand in your market, and they kind of give you advice on, maybe some dates you have coming up. Like I just showed you that Saturday, and possibly recommending doing a length of stay, or maybe even adding rooms to a particular room if they think it's going to sell on a particular night. You can see under here, restriction advice. It says here you can see how well your most popular rooms on booking.com are matching up to guest demand in your area. So they base it on guest demand. They pull demand from your area, statistics from your area, and they kind of throw advice your way to tell you what to do. It says you can change your restrictions to make your property appear in more searches. So what they're doing, obviously booking.com wants to sell more rooms, and they want you to be successful. So they're doing everything they can to make you successful. So they're pulling in data that they're seeing from your area and trying to give you advice on it. And it says the restrictions here look good. They really don't have any recommendations. But if there were recommendations, obviously you'd want to take a look at it and do it or not do it. So again, this is a great tab to go to every day. And really the areas you want to focus in on are your unbookable dates, and you want to look at your key dates. So those are the 2 tabs that we really, your sold out dates, you're going to want to look at too, because you're going to want to see which days you're sold out, and you might catch a mistake there. If you've got a room type that's sold out, and you look at it, you take a glance at it, and you say, wow, it doesn't look right. I shouldn't be sold out that far in advance. Maybe you loaded the wrong inventory. It's going to catch mistakes for you. So really all these areas you want to look at least once a day, but really those key dates and those unbookable dates are very, very important. And that's why I kind of changed my calendar to show you guys, an example of what that looks like, and how that can really, that can happen without you even knowing, especially dates far in the future. So that is all I have for now. If you like this video, please feel free to share it with your friends. I think this is a great video, especially for properties that are loading manually, whether it's a short-term rental or a hotel motel. I think this is a great video because I showed you guys how to go in here manually and kind of update your hotel. And again, if you have a channel manager, you can do all through this your channel manager. So share this video with anybody that has a hotel or short-term rental that you think this might help. And I've got more videos coming out in the future. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel. More to come. Thanks, guys.